What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels by Guy Ritchie. After last week reviewing the new Aladdin movie, the abomination that was the new Aladdin movie by Guy Ritchie, I wanted to revisit a time when Guy Ritchie was somebody that made me excited. This was the movie that got me into Guy Ritchie. It was actually his first movie, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Came out in 1998. Kind of an independent movie. He's from the UK. It's based in the UK. It's also the first time we saw Jason Statham. This movie and then the next Guy Ritchie movie, Snatch, which maybe I'll talk about that next week. We'll see. Another great Guy Ritchie movie. Just like it really, at least the first one, it was written and directed by him. The story in this movie it's one of those movies where you're following the plot lines of multiple characters or groups of people, and all of their storylines are kind of interwoven within each other, and like certain things need to happen to certain people for, your main character to go, or main characters, the ragtag group of hooligans that are the main focus of the movie, how they are able to somehow get through. So if you haven't seen it, it's streaming somewhere. It's on Netflix maybe, or Hulu, Amazon. I don't know. I saw it on something, and it's one of those things where, after having to watch Aladdin, I rewatched the original just to kind of cleanse the palate, just kind of give me a reminder that humanity isn't the worst thing ever, and that art isn't, it's just good art exists, right? Good things exist. Guy Ritchie used to make a good movie, so I needed to watch a Guy Ritchie movie that made me feel good. And Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, I also haven't seen it in a long time. It's about, starts off this group of friends. They kind of get money together, so one of their friends who's good at poker could get into this exclusive poker tournament to win a bunch of money. Right? It's one of those movies where they have this idea to get rich quick, and things go horrible. He loses money. The main boss guy in the town loans him the money in the poker game after all of his cash was tapped out. He gave him a loan, so when he loses, now he owes big. He owes $500,000, something, £500,000 to this boss guy, and he's got a week. Which, watching this movie as somebody that has debt on some level, that has financially, it would be nice to have not necessarily a windfall of cash of $100,000 or $500,000, but even a few grand. If I could come up with a way to just make a few grand real quick, that would be amazing. That would change. That would lessen so much anxiety and stress to just get rid of some things. But so they have to come up with a bunch of money, and their idea is that they're going to rob somebody. And while in the process of stealing from somebody, it's not an original idea, and somebody beats them to it. And it's kind of this round robin of people robbing different groups. You've got drug dealers, these weed dealers. You've got another more high end criminal group that's competing with this the amateur group of these friends. Where Jason Statham being one of them, the lead of this movie, who's the son of Sting. Sting is in this movie. He's the bartender, father of the poker player that loses. So they're the amateur group, and then you got the main group. Then you got this rogue hitman guy that's I forget his name, but he's there with his son, and he's just a professional get shit done guy. Then there's the boss who has his private investigator that kind of hires people to do certain hits. Then there's the amateur hitmen, two hitmen guys that and thieves, I guess they are as well. So there's a lot of players in this movie, and a lot of things happen, and it's just the story itself, the writing itself in this movie, the complexity of the writing, the acting. the film work, the camera work, because it's independent. I think maybe the budget got to Guy Ritchie, and just he's unable to make the quality of film now that it's like maybe it's not his script, maybe he's just not in love with it as much. Maybe this is like, a comedian's first album. They usually have been doing comedy for 10 years. Maybe they've been working on those bits for, 5 years, refining them, getting them molded perfectly. And then they come out with an album 2 years later, and they just have 2 years to come up with an album. So maybe same thing with like bands, sophomore. Although Snatch was like, I would say, the upgraded version of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Like, you got a lot of the same heart and not as complex of a story, but still a lot of memorable characters in Snatch. But I think just the bar was raised just a little bit. But yeah, it's just like, it's amazing to watch this film by Guy Ritchie, written and directed by Guy Ritchie, and then I wouldn't recommend to waste 2 hours of your life to do this. But if for some reason you do watch the new Aladdin, like, just understand like that he came from a place where he was competent and made good movies, and then he's gone to a place that's like so corporate. I mean, he did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and then he did Snatch in 2000, so 2 years later, I'm sorry, I don't know math. And then he got with Madonna and did like a movie with Madonna, and like, I never watched it. I heard it was horrible. And from there, it was just like, he came out with like Rock and Rolla and Revolver, which are movies that I think he tried to tap back into his old roots, but I never got into them. I've tried to watch a couple of them, but they're just like, maybe it's just they're too derivative of his own style. Like, maybe, I don't know what it was with those movies that didn't get me locked in. But I did enjoy when he took over the franchise of Sherlock Holmes in 2009 and then 2011. I enjoyed those movies, even though they're kind of more actiony. Like, I thought it was a good blend of like a smart guy, but he actually knew how to fight as well. It just, I can understand why people don't like those movies, but for whatever reason, I do enjoy them. And I don't know if it's just because when they came out, I was, I would go to I remember going specifically, I think it was the first one, going on like Easter, some holiday, and it's just like, I don't have family. These holiday things don't really mean shit to me. A lot of times, especially Easter, which is like one of the dumbest of holidays. Like, I mean, like, you're celebrating on that day a zombie Jesus, and the characters involved are giant bunnies that lay eggs made of chocolate. Like, it's like, the reasons why I have zero respect for certain religions is just how ridiculous the people are to just go with these like meaningless, obscure fucking decorations to like insanity. But yeah, I went and saw it. I believe it was there, and I think I brought in a bottle of vodka, a little small bottle, and just spiked my lemonade or something like that. So it's a lot easier to enjoy a movie. It's just one of those, like, you can kind of unplug. Also, Robert Downey Jr. is great. But yeah, Guy Ritchie, man, maybe he did Aladdin so he can, comes back with like really good movie. I never watched the King Arthur movie either. I didn't hear great things, but I don't know. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels was a classic, and I recommend watching it. It's so good. But that's it. That's all I have to say about the movie. It's go watch it. Go watch Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels 3 times versus going to a 2-hour-long dog shit remake of an animated classic. But that's it for this episode. New episodes daily. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week in advance over at patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. InspiredDisorder.com for all of my original artwork. Go buy some paintings now. Save 10% with coupon code INSPIRED. At Ray Taylor for me on all social media. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out!